Hello everyone, today I'm working on this nickel plate products 462. It's a little bit nicer than what I'm used to. It came with a baggie of parts, so it looked to me like it would be easy breezy, but let's just find out. It looks like it's got the original foam with just a different box, so let me get that off the foam. I have not been paying attention. This is not a 462, it's a 464, it's a Hudson. So these would haul passengers around before 1947 when they bought those Bluebird PA1s. Let's just take a closer look at this. Here you can see the Nickel Plate Products logo. The smoke box front is off. That could be a good thing if you want to put lights in it. So let's just take a close look at this. All the valve gear seems to be there and in good shape. Same with the wheels. I think it's a factory paint. If it's a custom paint, it's a really good custom paint. Some of the detail that I'm not used to. It's very nicely detailed. So this should be a good runner. Yeah, I don't know if it's a factory paint, but if it's a custom paint, it's a really good one. I might do a little bit of touch-up, especially on this white here. That looks like easy enough to do. But I am not repainting this. This paint is excellent. Even the smoke box front has a lot of details and seems to be in good shape. Even has its bell. Really nice. So that's got details up front too, and all the handrail seems to be there. Nothing's bent. It's just a really nice locomotive. I see the handrail is bent a little bit here too. That'll be easy to straighten out. There is a little bit of this and that to be fixed. You can see the handrail is bent here. So I can see that while handling it. It's got fancy gizmos. I don't know, not too sure what this does. And I'm not too sure what this does. Oh, this is for the sand lines. But more detail than what I'm used to. Just like this, I think it's a throttle linkage. Just like that, it's separately applied, very fine detail. You can see how it goes right into the cab. And this handrail here is extra detail I'm not used to. You can see the whistle just stands there with your generator and the pop valves. So lots of really good detail. I'm gonna straighten out the handrails now. It wasn't bad, but it just needed a little bit of tweaking. Also, it had a lot of lubrication, which makes it shiny. So I'm just gonna remove that with my rag. When I first got it, I took a minute to test it out. You can see the previous owner put a piece of tape there to prevent a short circuit. So I'm about to test it again. We'll see where we're at. This is going to be a really good runner. While I'm doing that, I'm also going to test for short circuits. So these seem to be isolated, which is good. No short circuit there. Perfect. Check the back truck, you never know. So just like your classic brass locomotive, it picks up from all wheels, but just one side of the track. I don't know if you can hear one of the drive rods is hitting. So I'll take a look at that. Seems to be on the other side. But this is going to be good. Oh, I can see right away what the problem is. These guides here for the crosshead, they're completely bent. But I think because it's brass, I'm gonna have a chance to bend them back where they should go. Already it stopped hitting. But I think I'm gonna take it apart because I'd like it to be perfect. Anyway, this is acceptable, but I think I want it to be perfect. So that might be the reason why it was put up for sale. Anyways, it's a real good runner now. Hey, I kept fooling around with it and I think I got it to where I'm happy. I think that's going to be good for what I need. That saves me a lot of time. I can move on to something else. I am going to remove the boiler. So find yourself a box just to remember where your screws are at. Because you don't want to be hunting down these screws or even the spring. So the fact that it has a little bit of tape on the trailing truck tells me that this was a good running locomotive. So we want to keep it like that. Just give you a good look at this. So this is insulated on both sides, so it doesn't pick up any electricity. But I'm still going to clean it just to make it look nice. Do the exact same to the back truck. This one's just one screw. But this one does pick up electricity. Fortunately, you won't be able to put it in backward no matter what you do. And there's that piece of tape. I think I am gonna be smart and keep it. On most locomotives, you will find two screws in the back here. But for this one, I think the frame just goes through this panel here. So I'll go remove the screw from the front. If I'm right, this screw here is going to be holding the boiler. And usually they're just a straight screw. This one's a Phillips. So that's a little bit unusual. And it seems to be rounded off a bit. So probably very likely somebody has been in here and needed to replace it. Fortunately, I have some new screws that I can use. I'll take a look. I think I have some exactly very similar screw, and if I'm in a bind I can still use it. So I'm putting it in my box. So this lifts up easily, which is good news, 100%. And then I've got my frame and my boiler separate. Now the boiler, I'm gonna wash that with some my toothbrush and some dish soap. I'm not gonna go crazy on it, but I do want it to look good. With the boiler off, it's really easy to come in and have a look at some of this extra detail. You know, the uncoupling lever here just wasn't positioned properly. So we can work on that. But look at these air compressors, how nice they are. And you can see the builder's plate. Oh, in great detail. Now that I have everything in my hands, it's super easy to get in there and look carefully. But everything looks good. I don't think I have to do any more to this. I'm really happy with that. Always very pleasant to get in there, look at the details, like these brake shoes, for example. That is beautiful. You can see parts of the gold frame through the wheel. So I'm going to see how much, I'm going to whip out my old paintbrush. I'm going to see how much I can get painted. So I am going to remove the wheels. I just removed the two screws from the valve gear and I pull up very carefully. Oh, and they're springs. Everybody recommends you change them out for some light ones. I'm going to take apart the gearbox. It's two little screws. This one and this one. With the bottom of the gearbox out, I can just yank this up. Just being careful because I am messing around with the valve gear. I'm not going to remove it completely, but this is going to give me access to the frame so I can paint it. I have to admit that's something that I always wanted to do. Always bugged me to see a little bit of gold there through the wheels, and I always wanted to do it, but I was afraid to. I'm glad I got up the courage to do it today. So I'm gonna whip out my paintbrush and I'll paint the frame the way I like it. Now that feels really good. I cleaned up this plate too. So I used my dollar store acrylic paint and I just repainted everything flat black. And now all I gotta do is put everything back together. Also, now is the best time to clean this up. So I cleaned that up with my rag. And it's also the best time to re-lubricate everything. So you can just move the bearing out a little bit. And then we'll use a drop of lubrication. The Bell 108 is what I use. And then just a drop is all you need. As you put everything back together, be really careful. One of the wheels has a very thin insulation strip. You can barely see it on this side. It's insulated between the center of the wheel and the outside. It's a very thin strip of insulation. This one, you can see it contacts the wheel directly. So this side picks up electricity, this side's insulated, and you want to keep that straight as you put it back together. If you put it back this way, you create a short circuit, and that would be bad.
It would be bad.
Final test before I put the boiler back on. And you can see through the drivers. Looks great. I'm really glad I did that. And also I want to check for the conductivity. And then no shorts. That's important. So I got that right. I'm going to work on this line here. I'm going to go get my paint pen that I got at the hardware store. So you want it to be wet, but not too wet. So you want to get a piece of for myself, I'm using cardboard. Get a piece of cardboard to make sure it's wet but not too wet, and then you can apply it. Yeah, I might have to go twice. So start with one time, let it dry, and then come back again. I have not even started on the tender, and that is the main issue with this engine. When I saw it on eBay, I said, oh, the wheels are off the tender, it's going to take 5 minutes to fix, easy breezy. There's no guarantee that that's the issue though. So what I'm going to do is, well, I'll have you take a look at the tender. It's in real good shape. I don't plan to do anything to it. It is quite beautiful, although a little bit dusty. It is really beautiful, plenty of detail. I think I'm going to take my toothbrush and some dish soap, get rid of this dust. Brass engines don't come with coal. You have to supply your own coal. I'm really satisfied with just running it like that, as it came from the factory. So I am going to remove these bogies, our trucks, and put them back in a second. But first I'm gonna wash the tender. It's great to have these videos, you know, if I forget what this washer is for, I can always come right back and look at the video, and you know, if I forget what is this screw for, what's that for, I can always come right back and have it on the video. So that's great. It's a great practice. If you want to do that, I do recommend that you do that when you take engines apart. These wheels pick up electricity, so you have to be really clear about which side is insulated and which side is not. On this particular wheel, you can see this side is insulated. So you have to put it so it picks up the other side of the track. Very important. Maybe that's why this locomotive was put on eBay for sale. I don't know for sure. Seems to me that it's a good runner, just needs to have the wheels put back. And since the trucks have screws, they have little screws there, it's going to be really easy to put them back. So I don't know, that seems like an easy fix to me, but like I said before, we're about to find out. I would not sell that if that were my locomotive. I cleaned both sides, even the side that's insulated, just because I want them to look good. That's all. That's what they say, cleanliness is next to godliness. And then the trucks seem to be very symmetrical, so I can change the polarity at the last minute by doing this, so I don't have to worry about the polarity right now. Just put them back. Just make sure that they're both on the same side. So that rolls good. So if you remember, the locomotive picked up from this side of the track. So it's important that this is the insulated side and this side picks up for the tender. That's all. And it looks like that's that. Now I've got to go try it on the track just to make sure. Turns out I did have a short, and all I had to do was put a little piece of electrical tape down the middle. I have a short somewhere. I'm not convinced it's in the tender. Good, great, grand, wonderful.
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
But it sort of kind of runs. Well, that's all the time I had for this week. I guess next week the video is going to be me chasing down that short. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you soon.